Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie, and today we are back with part 2 of going through my pinks in my collection to figure out what I'm gonna destash. As you can see, this is another long video, so make sure you have a snack, something to drink, get cozy, and let's just get into it. Okay, and we're back for part 2, so let's just get into the time lapse. Okay, and here are the rest of the pinks in my collection. The majority of these, as you can tell, are the lighter, slightly cooler toned, almost like bubblegum kind of shades. There are just a few more off to the side here, and then just this row on the bottom. So, you know, it's not as much. Definitely a bit of a smaller pile, I think, than the first part, but still gonna be a lot to get to. So yeah, as usual, we will start with organizing these into their little color groups. Okay, so just to zoom out for a second, here are, you know, all the pinks in a slightly more color organized group. So I have the warmest, like peachy ones down here. These are pretty much a lot of crellies, or I guess not a lot of, there's only like 6, but these are the more true, like, you know, crelly finishes. Then we have a lot of other specialty finishes that are kind of in between, like there's some warm toned, some cooler toned, slightly going into the purples with slightly more darker, like purple pinks. Then we have a lot of the just lighter, you know, pinks, at least like here in the middle, the more bubblegum shades, a couple of slightly deeper ones. Oh, this one's actually a crelly, so it should go here. And then the top 2 rows are more of the shimmery kind of pinks for the most part. A lot with the blue shimmer over here, but then some with like green shimmer, gold shimmers, and then just a few that have kind of a like more pinky kind of shimmer. So, you know, just a lot. I do want to start with the crellies, so let me like open up a space here in the middle for them, just because I have the least amount and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be keeping all of them, so we'll just go through them, you know. So the majority of these are from Noodle's nail polish, and unfortunately not around anymore because they are just older shades. This is her older label as well, if you couldn't tell. This one is easily one of my top favorites. It's called Warm and Cozy. It's just a really pretty soft pink with a cute glitter mix. This one actually might still be in her shop because it is one of like the more popular ones that I feel like at least had been around for several years. It's called Pink Lemonade. Super, super cute. Then this one is Strawberries and Cream, which technically the base itself is more on like the creamy neutral side. It's not really pink, but there are a lot of pink glitters in here as well as red glitters. So, you know, it's kind of like with these other crellies. So I just pulled it out, but I'm going to be keeping it anyway. And the last one is watermelon sorbet, which again kind of has more of a true like white crelly base, but a lot of coral pink glitters. So, you know, I didn't know when else I would pull it out because I guess, I don't know, I wouldn't pull it out with the whites just because there's a lot of color in here. So yeah, we're already going to be keeping all of those. Then the nail polys, this one is called Playing Hard to Get, which has a little bit of ugly bottle syndrome, but it is a cute, you know, like bubblegum pink kind of crelly with these white little micro glitters, even tinier red metallic glitters. Definitely a very different or more like dainty glitter crelly compared to the last ones that I showed, but it's still super, super cute. And obviously I also just love the cap. I really just want to like pick these out and chew on them, but I know like don't do that, right? And the last two that I have here, we have Tyler's Trinkets Monarch's Delight, which is like one of the newest glitter crellies in my collection. I picked this up I think just a few months ago. Well, it was several months ago at this point because I shared it in my spring favorites. It is such a pretty white crelly filled with the most beautiful mix of pink, metallic, and holographic glitters. There's also like a little pink shimmer. Absolutely adore it. And this one is a super old shade from Painted Polish called Converse and Cronuts. I feel like it's looking a little washed out. Like the base color has, you know, like a really nice like bubblegum pink sort of shade, but it just has this really fun glitter mix that just kind of reminds me of like sprinkles, you know? So I like using this in my birthday manis usually, but this year I went with opal nails. I basically had to do a full hand mani of the tutorial that I shared in my October opal video. So yeah, but this is definitely one I love usually wearing around my birthday. Next, maybe I should go through these lighter kind of shades because I do have a decent amount of them and I kind of want to parse them down a little bit. It is gonna be so hard to decide, you know, what gets cut, I guess, because I like a lot of them. Technically, I did have this one in this pile, but this is Cracked Polish's Baker's Dozen, which is, you know, more of a pearlescent shade, a little bit in between a blush and a neutral. It's not as pink as, where is it? Raspberry Glaze, you know, which is more of a darker kind of pink, but I don't know, it just has such a beautiful soft color, so I am gonna keep this one. I guess from these shades here in the middle, we have Island Peace Soulmate, Hollow Taco's Sweet Tooth, and Hollow Taco's Rosemary Kill. I would say my favorites are the Island Pea and Sweet Tooth, just because it's such a cute shade. Again, I feel like on camera they look so washed out and muted and sad, but it's just a cute, like, you know, light pink. The Rosemary one it's nice for like a neutral, but it's also just like very muted. So I think I'm gonna pass this one along. Ooh, I do also want to keep Strawberry Soy Milk from Dimension Nails. This is a sheer pink, which I actually didn't really pull out the majority of my sheer pinks because they're in like my essentials drawer. This one did used to live in that drawer, but I kind of replaced it recently with Cracked Polish's Ridge Filler, just because it's like, you know, a base coat. So I figured I can just like double up. And so I moved this to a different drawer. And, you know, now I'm thinking like, do I need to hold on to it? Because obviously I want to, because I loved this collection, although I did already part with some of them. You know what? No, I will keep it just because I have used it a decent amount of times. Like, it kind of has a fill line like right by the shoulders. I know it's hard to see obviously at this angle, but I'd rather just, you know, keep using it up because I do go through sheer pinks like this pretty often. For the creams though, I think these three are probably the next closest ones. This one I can kind of go in, so I guess we'll include this. This one is She Doesn't Even Go Here from Cracked, which is their jelly, or actually I don't remember, maybe this is a crelly. I remember it being pretty buildable, but I might be misremembering. But either way, it's just not like a true cream compared to something like Hollow Taco's Pinky Swear, which, you know, is a very similar color in the bottle, but again, on the nail, it looks slightly different. This other pink is Island Peas Twirl, which I really love, and it has a brighter, almost more like whitened base. And lastly, this is Nail Poly's Great Minds Pink Alike, which has the little pink Stanley cup. I don't even have a Stanley, but like, I want to keep this one. Because it's just so freaking cute. But color-wise, I feel like it's maybe kind of in between these two. It also looks like a tiny bit more muted. So, you know what? Like, as cute as it is to have the the cap for this one, I think I will set it aside because I definitely know I want to keep Twirl, but I'm deciding if I should also keep Pinky Swear, because like I do like this color. I think it's just such a cute bright shade of pink. So you know what, I'll keep it because it's different. It's different enough, you know, that I can justify both, even though again, like this drawer is getting really full, so I should be more picky, but unfortunately I want to keep them all. Now for these, I feel like they are pretty split. I mean, like these obviously have a bit more of a muted kind of tone to them. These are a bit brighter. I mean, this one here in the middle is Cracked Polish's Pinky Pink, which is again like another pink sheer. Here it is next to Dimension Nails Strawberry Soy Milk, and she doesn't even go here. So you can see it is a little bit deeper than those, but this does apply even more sheer, like a true jelly, whereas this one is a bit more buildable, like more of a milky kind of pink. And so, you know, I think I already did set aside the other, what are they called? Like the three little pinkies. I love the idea for the collection, but just in my collection personally, I have so many sheer pinks that I might as well just like set this one aside. From here, these two, which I think are, you know, the most similar color-wise, but obviously very different finish-wise, are Island Peas Knitted and Hollow Taco's Nip in the Bud, which is a cream, and you know, it's like, it's nice, but also again, just very muted. This one and the Rosemary shade were from the same cottagecore collection. And since those are like spring colors, you know, they're in that specific drawer that is like running out of room. So I will just pass this along, even though, you know, it's like a nice shade. Like I do like this one more than the Rosemary shade, but realistically, I would rather just like reach for other kind of pinks, like low-key blushing, for example, which, you know, does not look like this at all, but yeah, I can just, you know, set it aside. I don't feel compelled to keep it. Knitted, on the other hand, I feel like, because it's been a while since I've worn this one, I do like the color, but I feel like I don't remember loving the formula on this, though I am planning on buying a lot of the wide replacement brushes for Black Friday. So, you know, I'm sure that'll help with the application and all of that. But I do think it is a super, super pretty, just like soft and neutral, you know, kind of color. The only other like closest shade is this Nail Poly's, but it's like a little bit warmer and also has like, you know, these other micro glitters and like a gold flaky in there. This one is called I Love You Unconditionally, which only came out this past summer. That's when I picked it up because it's just so freaking cute. I love the shade so much. But yeah, I feel like, you know, I probably should choose between these, but unfortunately I cannot. Here, this one is Island Peas Sweet Pea, which is one of their like best sellers. You know, everybody always talks about this, recommends it. It's a very mauvey kind of pink. Again, I feel like it looks so gray and like sad on camera, but there is a little bit more like warmth and color to it. But it is also very cool toned, and I just don't know if I like it on, or like if I love it on me rather, because it is a pretty shade, right? Like it's a nice, you know, kind of neutral, but between this and Knitted, for example, you know, as we saw in like the last video, I just gravitate more towards the slightly warmer pinks, but I love this finish from Sweet Pea. So I do want to hold on to it just to kind of give it another chance and then like decide, you know, then whether I should hold on to it or not. But yeah, hopefully you can see that this just has like a bit more of that sheer like jelly kind of finish with a much stronger holographic sparkle. I love this finish. This other island pea, by the way, is Dear Diary from the Rewind collection earlier this year. I love the base color of this one more than Sweet Pea, but this has an even daintier hollow sparkle. It's cute, right? Like I love it and I'm gonna keep it, but I almost want something like in between, I think, or like a combination maybe. You know what? I'm just gonna set aside Sweet Pea because I've barely worn it. I wasn't immediately like super in love with how it looked. And I have these other two, not to mention just other island pea kind of, you know, sparkly pinks. So I might as well just set this one aside. This last pink here I'm also keeping. This is Rosewater Jelly from Cirque. You just already know the jellies. This one is Pink Lady. I'm like almost always gonna keep them. This one is Fairy Floss, which has this like blue, gorgeous, iridescent flaky in there. I don't remember if this one is still around. It is incredibly sheer though. I would say this is similar to glitter glue in that way, where, I mean, at least glitter glue was, you know, marketed as a topper, right? But like in the bottle, you see this really pretty pink color, but on the nail, it just doesn't really show up that way. So this shade, if it is still around, just be warned, it is sheer. So if you want that pink base, you're gonna have to, you know, layer it with something. Probably Pink Lady, although it looks a little bit cooler toned, so, you know, just be warned. Then from here, the only one that's like sticking out because it's a shimmer is this Lurid. This one is the Sanctuary of Our Love, and it is very pretty, but again, it kind of has that like really muted mauve-y kind of base color, which I don't find myself reaching for as often, even though, you know, the shimmers are so gorgeous. Like I love that this has that bright like red shimmer. Here it is next to Polish for Days Blossom, which has a similar bright shimmer, but it's like, I don't know, just even more fiery. Here, hopefully you can see that there's like the two, it's like a little more orangey on that side and then red on this side. But the base color, even though it is a little bit more purple, it's just more vibrant. So it has like a really pretty color to it. So, you know, I wouldn't call them like dupes necessarily, but to me, they are similar enough or like in the same family where I would definitely rather keep Blossom. For these last four, I feel like this one kind of like stands out the most. These three look more similar. This one is Olivab's Amaryllis, which is one of their pink creams. I actually think this is another one. Yeah, this is Vernal. So Amaryllis is much warmer, maybe like a little more neutral, and Vernal is like slightly more cooler toned, you know, more of that true bubblegum pink color. And I love both of these. These are some of my favorite pinks from Olivab. Let me just keep Vernal here because it did look kind of similar to these other two, maybe more to this Cracked, which is Bubblegum Yum Yum, which is another one of their jellies. I love this one. This one has a little bit more like color and coverage, so I know I want to keep this one. It is also like, you know, a jelly, so different enough than a cream. So, you know, even though the color is like very similar, I can justify both. And this one isn't really that similar here, and it doesn't look similar to like other pink creams here on the table at least, but this is Color Department's Razzmatazz, which was from the Jamba Juice collaboration. Loved the collab, and I want to keep this one. I think it's a really pretty bright shade of medium pink, you know? Next, I want to finish going through like the warmer toned pinks, just because I feel like this is the only row, and then this row and these top two are just much cooler toned overall. So, you know, just to like get these out of the way, let's just go, you know, left to right. These first two kind of crellies here, this is a super oldie. This is Polish M, which I don't think is around anymore. This is called Warm Sugar Cookies. It's just a really pretty like neutral pinky beige kind of base, like maybe, you know, a little bit more on the beige side, but it has this tiny metallic glitter mix in pink and gold, maybe white too. There's also like some iridescent sparkle in there. It's just so like, it literally is giving sugar cookie kind of vibes. Fun fact, this was like the first polish that I ever bought a backup of because I wore it and just loved it so much that I was like, okay, I understand why some people buy backups. So we're gonna be keeping that one. This one though is Island Pea's Daybreak, which I'm pretty sure this is the one that a lot of people don't like from the Overcast collection because the base color just doesn't look the most flattering. I know I've been saying it that, you know, the camera is kind of like washing out a lot of the pinks and making them look, you know, more muted and dull, but I would argue that a lot of people just feel that way about this color anyway. And I would say, you know, yeah, like it probably is my least favorite. If I had to say, it's like between this one and I think it's Misty is the other one. Yeah, but that one has a little bit more of a purple-y kind of like mauve base. So this just is like a little too close to like fleshy tones. So yeah, even though I've only worn it like that one time, I think I would rather set this aside because I mean, my Island Pea winter drawer is also quickly filling up. So I would rather replace this one. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll set that aside. Then this next one is another Olive Pink. This is Peony, one of my top favorites. I know I said that about the others, but like this one actually has a pretty decent fill line. Just so stunning. It's like kind of similar in color to Blossom, which is another Olive, but this one has that gold shimmer in there. And you know, I do really like Blossom too. It's definitely much more pearlescent. This is also the same finish as like Calla Lily or Partly Sunny. I'm like blanking out on like some of the other ones that have that gold shimmer, but between those, I would say Blossom is my least favorite, which is surprising because it's a pink, right? But you know, there are other like pinks with a gold shimmer that I kind of reach for more often. So I actually think I'll set aside Blossom. These two shimmery pinks here, we have Potion Polish's Pink Sky at Dawn and Never Enough's Strawberry Moon, which actually with this Potion Polish, let me also pull out Mooncat's Sand Viper, which, you know, I wouldn't really consider a pink. That one's like more neutral, but it's kind of similar in that way, having that fiery like shimmer. I know I was saying before like, oh, you know, I usually go for like the warmer tone, so you would think that I would destash the Mooncat, but Sand Viper is so stunning for just a neutral with like a little bit of shimmer. And this Never Enough that is super old, I love it. It's just so cute. This one's technically, you know, more of a crelly kind of finish too. I think it's most similar. I think I did compare these before to that Nail Poli's shade because they have like, you know, a gold shimmer, a tiny red holographic sort of shade, or metallic, I mean. But the base color is a little different, you know, where the Nail Poli's is a bit warmer, maybe a touch darker, but I don't know, there's something about this one that it's such an oldie in my collection. There's a lot of nostalgia that's like, just keep it. Speaking of an oldie, this one is KB Shimmer's Don't Worry Be Taffy. This was from a 2016 collection. Absolutely crazy, right? I remember this was in my destash pile, but like years ago, and then I was like, wait, you know what? Let me like wear it again, try it out or whatever. And I loved it. And so I still want to keep it, even though it feels like I barely used it. I've worn it mainly as like a pedicure color in the summer because it's just like a really pretty corally salmon kind of crelly, but with these fun little hollow glitters. It's just, you know, it's just such a cute shade. Kind of similar in color, but, you know, not in finish, is Island Pea's Whisper, which, you know, here it is next to Daybreak. Here, right, we're going with the warmer tone. Then for these flakies, I'm going to be keeping all of them. We have Nailed It Mallow Dramatic, which my bestie had gifted to me like years ago, but it is so freaking pretty. Actually also gave me this wildflower one. This one is called Bunny Slippers, which was like a PPU shade. Still a pink flaky, but, you know, just slightly different. And this one, oh my gosh, it is a shame that this one is not around. This is Polish for Days, A Whole New World. Absolutely unreal. This is just like one of those polishes that, you know, I would just have on a shelf and stare at. It is so magical, so freaking pretty. And lastly for these, a couple of shades. So okay, we have another Cirque Jelly. This one is Rose, which is a little bit more neutral, more muted, very pretty for like a warm rose quartz kind of look. This is Island Pea's Pink Suede, which is their magnetic. So it has that silver magnetic pole and a soft, you know, medium pink base. I remember not being super crazy about these right when they first came out, but then I ended up loving them in the winter because I was like, oh my god, wait, these feel like perfect winter velvet shades for me. So even though I'm still not crazy over how like muted it is, like I would love a brighter pink magnetic from Island P, but this one is still really, really pretty. Then this one, oh, this is another favorite that I wish would come back. This is Kathleen & Co.'s Imagine from 2022's winter collection. It's kind of just like a warm pink linear hollow that also has this strong golden shimmer in there. It is absolutely magical. Speaking of warm pink hollows, here it is next to Cirque's Frosted Cherry from the Skittles collection and Island Pea's Kiss and Tell, which I was like, you know, do I really need 3 warm pink hollows? But honestly, I kind of do. I know these two are the closest now that, you know, I see them next to each other, right? But the Island P is a little bit more vibrant, I guess, like in its pink base. I feel like it's kind of hard to tell maybe from this angle you can see. So they're just all pretty. It's literally not fair making me choose, you know? And lastly, we have one more hollow here. This is Coral Chaser, and this is a metallic from Nailtopia called Nails and Tiaras, which is just like a rose gold metallic. So you already know I'm gonna be keeping both of them. Okay, so finally getting into the, you know, the cooler toned pinks. Let me start with this bottom row, which are slightly darker or like more purpley leaning. Ugh, I already know I'm gonna be keeping like the majority of these, if not all of them, but it's fine. We'll just go through them. So starting with these first two, we have Cleona's Cloud Spire, which was my very first Cleona shade from Polish Pickup a few years ago. Such a gorgeous, like iridescent, flaky kind of mix with these shimmers. It's inspired by Spyro the Dragon, which I grew up playing, so I was like, oh my god, like I have to get it. But just the polish itself is also so pretty. But I would say one that I love even more is Cirque's Pink Diamond, which is one of their facets. Truly a shame that they had to discontinue it. I mean, I'm pretty sure they discontinued this line because they were not able to get the same holographic shards in here. Even though there are some kind of like little tiny bar glitters, there's also like an irregular flaky going on, and they quietly, you know, continued to sell the facets, but with a different, much smaller hollow particle. So it just like didn't look the same, you know? And yeah, it just seemed like they were never able to restock like this original kind of formula. So they just, you know, discontinued them. So definitely a shame because so gorgeous, absolutely freaking pretty. So yeah, I will be keeping those. This one, which, oh my god, this one needs some help. Oops, I did not realize that I had never shut this. But this is KB Shimmers of Quartz, which, oops, also the label completely messed up. But yeah, this is one of their reflective glitters. Definitely very, very sandy. Like you can, you know, kind of hear that, right? I actually don't remember if I pulled this out when I was doing my purples because I feel like it's kind of a pinky purple shade, but yeah, I need to save this. So if I did pull it out and I said this last time, that's kind of a shame that I forgot and I still haven't, you know, revived it. But anyway, moving on, this next one, Holo Taco's Munchie the Cat. Are you kidding? It's an easy keep. This is Island Peas Evermore, which is another pink linear hollow, but this one is like the much cooler version. Here it is next to the Kathleen & Co., which I know maybe kind of looks similar in the bottle, but you know, this just it's slightly cooler. Okay, so I'm gonna keep both. The Cirque is also just so freaking pretty. This is Coquette, which is kind of like a, I'm pretty sure they describe this as a topper, but you could also like build it up a little bit. It's just, you know, gonna be very sheer. It is so pretty. I love this finish from Cirque. These two are, well, I guess they're not both metallics. This is Island Peas Frosted Rose, and this is Cirque's Bay, which is the magnetic. And you know, Cirque's magnetics are not my favorite because they are more of that sheer jelly base. I like my magnetics to be like a little bit more pigmented, because when you do a cat eye effect, I don't know, for some reason I don't want to see visible nail line with a cat eye, but these shine in the velvet style. Oh my god, they look so incredibly plush. So I do still like it for that reason, so I do want to still hold on to it. But Frosted Rose, you know, it's not that I don't like the finish, like this metallic, I think it's like fitting for winter, but it's more the color, you know, where they describe this as a pink, but it's very lavender leaning. And you would think that, you know, I'd be a fan of that because I love an icy lavender in the winter as well, but I don't know, it's just like kind of perfectly in between, because the icy lavender that I really loved was Smitten, but that was in that formula that tarnishes, so you know, I don't even have mine anymore. And if we were to get an icy pink metallic, I would just want it to be more pink than this. So yeah, I'm just gonna set that aside. And let me put this Mooncat over here and do these two first. We have Deborah Lippman's I Put a Spell on You and Starly's Aphrodite. Now I already compared this to some of the other, like, you know, berry pinks with a green shimmer in part 1, but this is much brighter and also like more pearlescent. I mean, hopefully you can see from the shimmer, it's just so like smooth, you know, giving this liquid metal vibe. I don't know why, there's just something about that I really like. So I still want to hold on to this one. And Starly's Aphrodite, you know, I did really like this when I first tried it, but now, you know, in comparison to like these other shades, even though it is like pretty unique, there's like a certain level of vibrancy I think this has, and you know, in combination with the shimmer, I don't have another shade that can be like a dupe or replacement for it, but I don't know, it's just like, it's just not my favorite. So because of that, I think I will set this aside. Like part of me wants to hold on and see, like, maybe I'll try it again, you know, whatever, but I already have so many. Getting into the Mooncats, okay, this first one is Moon Fairy, which technically is like a very light purple, so it probably shouldn't be here, but we're keeping it. This one, oh my god, my holy grail, like, I'm never ever gonna let her go. I'm so sorry. This is Robotica, one of their first like limited edition kind of shades where the collection was limited edition, but it's a beautiful light pink hollow, but with this like minty green shimmer. Absolutely stunning. I wish that they would bring this back. This is such a beautiful shade. I know I've shared the comparison before, but here it is next to Not Today Satan, which is just like, you know, their standard pink linear hollow. It is like a little bit warmer toned, I think, but this one still has just like a beautiful, like bright kind of color. So very pretty. These creams, this first one is Euphoric, and then this one is A Doll's House. So between these, like, they're neither of them are my favorites. Obviously I do like Euphoric for the Technicolor Dreams collection, like as a whole, because it's so perfect for like gradients, and I have used it like a good amount for that. I've shared it before. I'm trying to find, oh, here it is. Like the comparison to Holo Taco's Pinky Swear, right? So, you know, this is just like a warmer pink color. This has a little bit more of that orchid pink, almost purple leaning undertone, but I feel like they're different enough, right, that I can justify both. So yeah, I will still hold on to Euphoric. A Doll's House though, I mean, this is like a nice classic kind of shade, right? But I mean, at the same time, I don't really reach for it super often, and I feel like I would rather reach for other kind of shades, like some of the other shades that I shared in part 1, like Hollow Taco's Low Key Blushing, even though I know that one is very warm tone in comparison, like almost like a pinky terracotta. This is much more muted with a slight mauve purple undertone. So yeah, you know what, I think I'll set this one aside. This Mooncat, this is Velvet Rose. This is another one that I'm keeping. It's another pink magnetic, but this one is even warmer than Cirque's Bay and also a little bit more pigmented, like more full coverage, especially doing the cat eye. And it has like all of these gorgeous flakies in the background. Oh my god, it is such a freaking shame. I should be talking about it in an upcoming video. I guess it depends on when this goes live, but I'm gonna be ranting about how they discontinued this one and like why, right? So yeah, I will be keeping it forever. And we're back to Crack's Raspberry Glaze. You know what? I think I might let this one go because I love this finish from Cracked, and I love that it's pink and that it kind of has like a blue sort of shimmer, or it's like a very icy kind of, you know, color, but I think it's just like a little too dark for what I would want. This other Mooncat here is Winds of Fate, which is kind of like a shimmery, multi-chrome-ish, again, more of a kind of like an orchid color, very strong purple undertone, but it is stunning. This next one, okay, so this is Apocalypse Polishes I Am Become Barbie, Destroyer of Barbie Land, which is a stunning pink micro glitter mix with pops of blue. I love this finish from Apocalypse, and I love this color. Like, this is one of my top favorites from like this finish, this brand, whatever. Love it so much, right? She first sent this to me, you know, months ago with like the Barbie trio or whatever. And I remember sharing it on my Instagram, like I did swatch it and everything, but I never shared it on YouTube because I was pretty sure I would be getting like the other duos and then I can save it for like a future video, you know? So I was like, I'll save it. And then I misplaced my bottle. And I was going crazy looking for my bottle. I was starting to panic because I was like, I need to do my video, so I bought one. Like when I said in my video that I had bought, you know, a handful of shades, this was one of them. And of course, after filming the video and, you know, I'm putting stuff away and like organizing things, I found my original bottle. So I have 2 of these. Well, I'm obviously here, I only have 1, but yeah, that was a fun roller coaster. And it's even more fun because if you watched my last Apocalypse video, actually no, my last Halloween favorites video, I was talking about the Shaun of the Deadland micro glitter that I wanted to share, but I can't find my bottle. I don't know what it is about Apocalypse that just like keeps going missing. I mean, obviously it's like my fault that I'm misplacing them because I was kind of reorganizing my collection. I'm so sorry about this tangent, by the way, but it's just so funny that it's happened to me twice with this brand in the finishes that I like really love. But yeah, all that to say, I am absolutely keeping this one and I am not going to lose it again. And these last 2, we have Hollow Taco's Control Cutie, and finally I found my bottle of Mooncat's Venus Flytrap. It was in this pile compared to in my part 1 video. I know I've compared them at some point in the past, but you know, just because I have them here now, Hotwire Pink is more of like a true pink. The Mooncat is just a few shades darker, a little bit more of that like purple kind of undertone. I feel like realistically I shouldn't keep both, but I am going to. Okay, and now getting into the bulk of my shimmery pinks. I am gonna go about this in probably like a weird way because it's like I know there's some that, you know, I definitely want to keep, so I'm gonna save those for last probably, and then I'll just, you know, go through the rest of them. Starting from this top row, this one is just a cream. This is Color Department's Talk to Me, which I really love this one. It's just a soft, you know, pink cream. It is probably most similar to Island Peace Twirl or Hollow Taco's Pinky Swear, but a little bit more muted. And I know, like, I mean, even with these three, I probably shouldn't keep all of them, but I love them. And I do wear them, you know, I just, when I'm in a slightly different mood, I'll pick one over the other. This one is Nails Ink Alex, which is kind of like a pearlescent shimmery shade, which, you know, obviously I have a couple of them, so surprisingly not anything quite like this one at the same time. I mean, I first want to pull this out next to Skelly Bones, which actually no, this is Pink Hair Strand, sorry, which has like a slightly pink base, but it's a little bit more whitened, right? Or just cooler toned than this one, and a much larger shimmer particle. Ooh, when it comes to pink pearls, actually, let me show this next to the Morgan Taylor, because this is like a pink pearl, but as you can see, it is so much more pigmented. So you know what, like, even though I did really like this Nails Ink, I don't think I've ever shared it on the channel unless it was like in a shorts video, but I've shared it when I did, you know, some nail content for Nails Ink on Instagram. It's a very pretty shade, but there are just so many other sheer shimmery pinks that I would rather keep. I did see a comment mentioning that Hollow Taco's Cloud 9 might look similar to this Morgan Taylor, but I wouldn't say so. Now that I see them next to each other, I see the vision, right? Because the Hollow Taco kind of has a little bit of a pearlescent vibe, but they're very different. Speaking of the Hollow Taco though, I know, you know, I've shared like the comparisons before, but I think it is different enough than like other pink pearlescent shades in my collection. Like the closest maybe is Mooncat's A Midsummer's Dream, where at least like the base is the most similar, but the shimmer is like a darker blue color in Mooncat. Maybe it's a little closer to, this is Rogue's Pride and Prejudice, which I don't remember if it's still around. This is one of their chrome shimmers, and it is so stunning, but the base in this is maybe cooler tone or just like darker, I guess. I think the base in Hollow Taco is also kind of similar to this Linby Designs. This one is called Apricity, but it obviously has like a more red, you know, fiery shimmer. Maybe it is a little bit lighter too, actually, or like cooler toned. So yeah, unfortunately, when it comes to these type of sheer pinks, I'm gonna be a sucker for all of them. I imagine most people would be like, no, you don't need all three, but I unfortunately am a certified pink lover, so, and the pinks with the shimmer, especially a blue shimmer, are my weakness. So continuing on at the top, these two cracked polishes, we have another pink with a blue shimmer. This is Feed Me Treats, which I'm pretty sure they retired, and I am still so upset over that because it is the cutest. It's just so freaking cute. This other one though is Pink Velvet, which is the other, yeah, didn't I like, I was talking about raspberry glaze being, you know, just too dark for me. I love the tone and lighter color of Pink Velvet a lot more, so I will be keeping both of those. These two Island Pea shades are Holding Hands and Claire, which both of these are pretty similar. Holding Hands was from a previous Valentine's Day collection, and Claire was from the Rewind collection, which again has that like super dainty hollow. And hopefully you can see that Claire is like a little bit lighter and cooler toned, but I remember really loving this one. So you know what, I think between these two, I might actually set aside Holding Hands. Like, it's a cute shade, but I feel like these are like close enough-ish, and I loved Claire. The last one up here is from Fauve. This one is called Lotus Blossom, which is another pink with an aqua shimmer. Here it is next to Hollow Taco. So you can see it's a different shade of pink. Just does not compare in my opinion. So, you know, it's just, I'm just gonna set aside the Rogue 2. These next two here, we have Cupcake Polish's Wish, which is a pink micro glitter. Oh my god, I love this finish. This is another one I'm pretty sure I've worn on my birthday before. It is so pretty, so much warmer toned than like other pink glitters. And this is a True Love's First Kiss from Cirque, which, you know, is kind of similar to some of these other ones here, but it's a little different at the same time. Like, it has a slightly warmer pink base, you know, compared to Flower Child, for example. Also a slightly lighter blue color in the shimmer. So, you know, it's different enough. This one is really pretty, but at the same time, I don't know. This is another one I might have to like try again. This is Bee's Knees Spread Your Wings. And I feel conflicted about it because it's like, I love the shimmer. I love the reflective glitter in here, but it's like the shade of the pink base that I wish was a little bit more pink. Like, in some angles, it leans a little bit more salmony maybe, which, you know, I do like a salmon pink, but I don't know how to explain it. But like, the shimmer in this is kind of a duochrome where it goes from this, you know, minty teal green to like a blue and then purple in extreme light. And I love how it looks there, where it's like just more shifty. So yeah, this is another one that I might have to try because I don't want to get rid of it and then regret it afterwards, you know? I'd rather keep it. But I guess like color wise, it might be more similar to some of these on the bottom because they have like that green shimmer. This one actually, I wanted to pull this out to show you. This is my bottle of Girly Bits Coming Up Lavender, which was one of the other Caitlin swatches, like collab shades I picked up, which unfortunately my bottle has already faded. So such a shame because I feel like I literally only wore it once. It's still like a nice color kind of, right? But I guess, you know, similar to other pearlescent shades. It actually, the base looks really similar to this Nails ink, but it's a blue shimmer instead of pink. And here it is next to Baker's Dozen from Cracked, which, you know, is a more buildable, like opaque kind of polish. This is obviously very sheer, and again, very different shimmer colors, but the base is similar enough, and I'm already keeping Baker's Dozen. So we'll set aside Coming Up Lavender, but yeah, I feel like even just with these, like, they're just so different. You know, like these other two have a brighter like pink and purpley tone, and this is a much warmer peachy pink, which, by the way, this is Bee's Knees Better Than No Heart at All, and this is Whatcha's Cancer. Absolutely stunning, obsessed with all of them. We're keeping those. I honestly think I am going to be keeping everything else here, so we'll just go through them. This is Cracked Polish's Home by 9, which was a PPU shade from earlier this year. Love this base, the glitter mix, the flakies, the shimmer, so pretty. This is Sylvan Claw's Oh My Unicorn, which is like another flaky iridescent shard mix that is magical. Like another one of those that I would just love to have on a shelf and stare at for like 20 minutes. These Mooncat shades, this first one is The Living Doll, which just came out, that has like the darker cobalt blue shimmer, which I always hate how like the iPhones make the shimmer look absolutely insane. Like it's obviously very bright, but you know, on camera it just always freaks out. This one I think is supposed to be the 2.0 of Aphrodisiac, which they retired. That one has a slightly more purple shimmer and also a hollow sparkle, but the base is like nearly the same, but I unfortunately will be keeping both. And this last Mooncat is Moonrise, which I know realistically I shouldn't keep because I do have others that are very similar to this. Here it is next to Island Pea's Flower Child, which does have a lighter shade of blue shimmer. This is Atomic's A Day of Fallen Night, which is maybe a shade or two lighter than the shimmer. Like this is more of a sky blue color, this is a medium blue, and then this is a cobalt blue. And this is Nailed It's Library of Dreams, which I would say is maybe the closest to Atomic. But it has more of a larger irregular flaky mix compared to the glitter. Nobody needs all four of these, right? Except for me, I do. Then from here we have Starly's Somnia, which is another kind of white crelly, or not white, a pink crelly with a blue shimmer. This one actually, I think I did compare it right to Mooncat, and so I was like, you know what, they're actually really, really close. It might be hard to tell, but I think the base in Starly is like a little bit cooler toned than in Mooncat. So, you know, I feel like these two I probably should choose between them. And okay, I guess considering, you know, the drawers that they're in, this one, I would rather use the spot for something else. Like the Mooncat drawer is getting kind of full, especially in like the pink section, but I don't know, I would rather keep the Mooncat one. And lastly, these two sparkly shades here. We have Psyche Minerals Whispering Waves, which, oh my god, am I crazy? Or does my bottle not have a label on it? I feel like this is the second time that this has happened from like a PPU order where I get it without the label. And I'm pretty sure I already put this on, but I don't remember noticing that before. So that's kind of funny, but I mean, I still love it. Are you joking? This is another one that I would have just on the shelf to stare at for the next like 5 hours. And this is Apocalypse's Double Tap, which is kind of, I guess, technically another crelly that I should have shared over there, but it has this almost like pearlescent base with like an aqua shimmer and then these red metallic glitters. It's just giving such cute winter candy cane kind of vibes. I am so excited to wear this in the winter. These two here are Polishes I Want to Hold Your Ham, which was another polish pickup shade. One of my favorites, so stunning. And this one is Great Lakes Lacquer, The Village Chief, which, oh my god, it is another absolute stunner. Definitely very like peachy looking in the base, but because it is pretty sheer, it just doesn't really read that way on the nail, but it is still so gorgeous. Then we have a couple of Island Pea shades. This is Pixie Party and Opal Sunset. Obviously, both of these are must-haves. I love them so much. Oh, this other Island Pea here too is Pink Flamingo, which is kind of, I guess, like closer to Pixie Party, being that, you know, warmer toned pink, but this is even warmer, like slightly corally in color. I do have a similar shimmer, you know, going on. I love both. And then these Mooncat shades, we have the Stolen Kiss from the Baroque collection, High Fructose, which is unfortunately not around anymore, and Curse of Calypso, which has faded so bad, but it's still really pretty, and I still love it, even though it looks kind of similar to High Fructose now. I think High Fructose has a little bit of a larger shimmer particle going on compared to Curse of Calypso almost having like a smooth pearlescent. And then the Stolen Kiss does have a similar like base to High Fructose, but I know this one was also very like sheer, and it's more of an icy like blue sort of shimmer. I know I didn't love the Baroque collection, but I loved this one the most, I would say. This last nail polish that I have here, this is called You're One in a Melon, and it has like the little watermelon candies up top. It's another, you know, kind of pink crelly, but this one has a pink and aqua blue shimmer going on. I don't know how well you can really tell those two colors apart, but it is super cute. Like this is admittedly one of my least favorite caps from nail polis, at least that I have in my collection, but I really like this color, so we are keeping it. And for these last 4 shades, I would say that these two are the most similar. We have Lurid's The Refuge of Your Presence and Rogue's Emma, which actually I don't know if I don't think mine has faded, but I also don't completely remember what the base color was like in this. I would just remember it being slightly more pink, similar to this lurid, because I feel like when I was doing comparisons, I compared this along with Island Pea's Opal Sunset. Maybe these two are the ones that are like more dupes, right? But the shimmers are different between them, where again, this is that like chrome shimmer. It's just so smooth. This almost looks like a tiny like micro flaky or a large shimmer particle. So I feel like because of the finish, it should be between these two. Yeah, as expected, I'm gonna keep all three. And lastly, we have Cirque's Plush Suede, which I think is so stunning. Like, I love this color shimmer, and especially in the base. I think I'm gonna be sharing this one in my winter favorites this year. There's just something so cozy about this color that reminds me of like winter mornings. Oh, just stunning. And lastly, this one is Great Lakes Lacquer Strength Untold, which my friend Janet gifted to me. It is a beautiful pink jelly with a fiery kind of shimmer in here, going from red to copper to gold. It's flawless. So yeah, as expected, I will be keeping the majority. So let me just show you everything. Here are basically all of the rest of the pinks that I will be keeping. I have just one more row on the bottom here, so a decent amount. I know there are still some shades that I probably, should have whittled down a little bit more, especially like these, because they all like this chunk here. They look really similar. I don't need all of them necessarily, but at the same time, I just really like them. And especially because with the pinks too, there's, a mix of some that are jelly, like more sheer. The others are true opaque creams. I want to have both, So yeah, now let me just show you my destash pile. And here is my little destash pile. So I'm only getting rid of 16 from this second half of my pinks, which I'm pretty sure was less than the first half. So I imagine, the number, the percentage or whatever is not that impressive maybe, but I do feel good about getting some of these out of my collection, just because I was either not in love with them in the first place, or, they're just close to other shades that I have, and I'm trying to minimize dupes as much as possible, which is very hard for my pinks. But yeah, generally I feel pretty good about everything that I took out, and fingers crossed I won't regret passing any of these along. So that wraps up going through the rest of the pinks in my collection. As always, I can't wait to hear what you thought of this video. I think I would say that this part 2 was a bit harder, even though there were less polishes. I feel like a lot of them were pretty similar, and it was just kind of harder for me to narrow it down. And I do feel a little bit silly for that, but I'm not gonna beat myself up too much over it, because pink is my favorite color, and it's a shade that I rewear often, at least compared to other polishes in my collection. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. And again, I still feel pretty proud of the polishes that I did get rid of, because there were a couple of dupes or like close enough shades. It's also so crazy that we're already at the end of the rainbow for my Destash series. But like I mentioned in the last video, I do still have a couple of more colors to get through, as well as my toppers. So be on the lookout for those videos in the next couple of months. I did also see some comments in part 1 asking if I would share my box of pinks, my already existing destash pile, if you will, which I was hoping to share in this video, but obviously with how long this was, I figured I could just save it for an extra video. So that should be going up sometime next week. And like I mentioned in that video too, I currently don't have any plans as to when I will be uploading the next round of my destash. We are quickly approaching a very busy time of year. I'm already stressed because I have a really packed schedule for November, and with how big my destash pile already is, listing, shipping, everything, it just takes a lot of time as well. So I don't know when I can get to it, and I'm so sorry about that if anybody is asking for updates regarding that. If anything, I will say just make sure you're following my destash page on Instagram, so that way you are up to date with any updates that I do have once I start uploading. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed going through the rest of the pinks with me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!